I just wanted to check if our friend Oscar ji has come. Because I've just noticed that he was here. If Oscar ji is already here, I would like to unmute him. Oscar ji, are you there?
Yes, I am here. I don't know if you see me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And are you able to see me also, or I am just
We can see you, Oscar ji.
good, very good.
So now what I'm doing is
Yes.
so not now what I'm doing is let me introduce Oscar ji to you all, my friends. We already have around 70-80 friends, and our coordinator Sharon will take care of the people who join in. But today on this date, I would like to welcome you all, my friends, to our inaugural session of Summer Internship 2020. I will just give you a little brief about what we have done in last 5 years. In last 5 years, Modlingua and Indian Translators Association and Entrepreneurship Development Center, we all three have made this combined effort to bring newcomers from all across the globe to introduce them to the professional world of languages. So in our training programs, perhaps this is one of the unique programs that we have introduced after I returned from University of Ottawa in Canada. After my return, I have introduced this program with the purpose to empower all newbies and new people who have not entered in the world, and all those who are trying to enter into the field and understand what language market is. The idea is not to teach you languages, because we believe you already know the languages because you have studied for 3-4 years, 5 years at times. Some of you are already PhDs, some of you are teachers as well. But the idea is to introduce you to all those aspects which are not taught in the colleges or universities. And the first aspect is professional approach to business. How you as an individual will sell yourself to market or sell your services as a translator, teacher, language professional, as a communicator, nasal builder, facilitator, interpreter, as well as thinker, writer. So the idea is, when we are talking about professional development in languages, it is not the language part that only matters. It is also the marketing part that matters. It is also the social media marketing that you know. It is also the entrepreneurship skills that you know. It is also the managerial skills that you know. It is also about entering into contract. It is also about understanding the client's problems. It is also about understanding the quality standards in translation and language business. It is also about continuously learning and improving. All these basic professional fundamentals that empower you and make you richer in terms of knowledge as well as money, we try and cover during this internship program, which is very intensive for 2 months. We have already introduced in last 5 days during our orientation program to certain fundamentals such as entrepreneurship, career options in languages, also social media marketing, online marketing, how to create your digital footprint. And in due course of time, we will also focus on your personal development as a persona, because as a person of caliber of knowledge, if you remain docile, the business world is not going to give you the due respect in terms of remuneration. So if you really want to have good remuneration, that should show on your face. We call it, doxa or personality, or in Hindi we call it sanskar. So if your sanskar is very docile, you will not be getting the better pie of the job market. But if your sanskar is, as per the market demands and standards, which needs little tweaking in your career, that could give you a better pie in the job market, and you will remain, a good and happy person with money as well as career growth and satisfaction. So I have invited our friend, Dr. Oscar Pujol, who has been a very good friend of India. He is a very renowned scholar of Sanskrit, Catalan, Spanish. He knows variety of languages, including Hindi. He talks in Hindi, Spanish, Catalan, French, Portuguese, because recently he was stationed in Brazil. He had also been to Arab world, so he knows Arabic also. So, language world respects him a lot, and being our friend and director of Instituto Cervantes here, he was the founding director of Instituto Cervantes, which has started from one room we call Aula Cervantes to now one of the biggest, language Spanish language institutes in global world. Perhaps the largest currently number of students the Instituto Cervantes has globally. So and that credit, I give always to him, because he started it, he's accelerated it, and now he's expanding it and stabilizing it. So apart from, while promoting languages, he has promoted culture, diplomacy, music. He has been uniting sources even for other Latin American diplomatic missions, a kind of coordinating body, you can say. So his presence, in our internship inaugural program is a very, very proud privilege for us. So I would like to welcome him, and I would like to thank him on our behalf, your behalf, as well as our behalf, for sparing some time with us. So Dr. Oscar Pujol, please.
Thanks, Ravi, for your kind words. I'm really happy to be here with you to share with you, the start of this seminar. I think it's really important what you are doing. I want to say that I've been knowing Ravi for at least now in 12 years, when we first started the Instituto Cervantes in New Delhi. Let me just say a few words about the Instituto Cervantes in New Delhi. The Instituto Cervantes, actually, it's a government organization from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's the Spanish version of Goethe, of Alliance Française, of British Council. We are a government institution. And we had the fortune of opening our premises in New Delhi in 2009. We have a very nice building in Connaught Place, right in the middle of the city. And at that time, I met Ravi Kumar. We worked together at the Instituto Cervantes. It was a very refreshing experience for me to know him, because he's really a very creative professional, and in many senses. And to start a new institution is not an easy task. But now I can say proudly that the Instituto Cervantes of New Delhi is the institute that has the largest number of students in the world. We have more than 5,000 students learning Spanish. I have with me a team of almost, more than 50 teachers. And in fact, well, now everything is closed because of the COVID pandemic, and we have to teach online. We have developed our tools of teaching online, which is being quite successful. We're entering a new era of webinars and seminars online and teaching online, and that's teaching us a lot. That has come to stay. It won't go away. I think we're discovering new possibilities in the web that we didn't know, or we were not using properly and at full length. So that's a good opportunity that the virus has given us to discover all these virtual spaces that sometimes we neglected. But as I said, the Instituto Cervantes in New Delhi has the highest number of students of all the Instituto Cervantes in the world. And I would like to say that the success, in teaching languages, it depends on many things. But the most important here is the teacher. The teachers should be, really And you have to make a combination of methods, of a direct method and a method, you know, that is able to somehow reveal the secret of the language to your students. And an institution like the Instituto Cervantes has students in more than 45 countries. What I mean to say is that you have to keep in mind that it's not the same teaching Spanish, in my case, to an Indian student, that teaching Spanish to a Portuguese student whose language is very close to Spanish. Methodology is very important, and you must adapt somehow your methodology to the people that will be at the receiving this teaching. As I said, our experience at the Instituto Cervantes has been really very inspiring. We've been adapting our methods, and we have a large number of students. And teaching Spanish to an Indian audience, as I said, is very different than teaching Spanish to a Portuguese, because Portuguese and Spanish are very close languages. But in any case, there is always something in common, which I would really advise you. Teaching is not a career. Teaching is not a job. Teaching is not something that you do because you just want to earn money. Teaching is much more than that. Teaching is a passion. To be a teacher, you know, is not just, you know, to go there and just say the lesson and go back home. You establish a relationship with your students, and you know it very well in India. There is a long tradition of Guru Shishya Parampara, of relation between teacher and disciple. You have to create bonds, you know, and you can earn a lot of money while teaching. If you are now young people and you are planning to take a career in teaching, I say teaching languages today has become a very lucrative enterprise, because there is a lot of money of it. Because the time when a person knew only one language is gone, it's gone forever. And you need more and more languages. English is in demand, Spanish is in demand, and Portuguese is a growing language also all over the world. No? I wish Hindi was also a growing language. And this is my message to my Indian listeners here. Give more respect to Hindi. Because I sometimes feel that Hindi is not very well respected in your own country. You know, in terms of speakers, Hindi is among the 5 more spoken languages in the world. But in terms of international influence, it comes very low, even behind, you know, languages that have a lower number of speakers, like Portuguese or Arabic or French. So give due respect to Hindi, make Hindi strong, because there is a lot of things that can you do with your wonderful language that is Hindi. And as I said, meeting with Ravi Kumar gave us a lot of strength in opening this Instituto Cervantes, I say 12 years ago. Now, the success of teaching Spanish in New Delhi has been so much that we don't have enough space for teaching. Well, now we are, of course, teaching online, and everything has changed. No? But what I would like to stress again is that teaching a language is not a profession. And this you keep in mind. Teaching a language is a vocation, which is a different thing. Even if you can make a lot of money by teaching a language, and that's true, still you have to love your teaching. You have to love, you know, organizing seminars, organizing classes. You have to love the sound of the language. You have to love your students. That Guru Shishya Parampara, which is so important in Indian tradition, you have to keep in mind. You cannot teach a language if you don't love the language you teach. You cannot teach a language if you don't love the students you teach. That's a very important thing. Unfortunately, you know, I cannot stay very long today. I am very happy to be inaugurating this session here. I hope it will be a very fruitful thing, you know, and that you can have a very interesting session here. I would like to give some concluding remarks regarding the nature of practice. Because when you teach a language, it's all about practice. There is a saying in English that says, practice will make you perfect. And I would like to quote a Sanskrit sutra enforcing the meaning of practice and how good practice is to be done. This is a sutra from the Yoga Sutras, from Patanjali, and it regards the practice of yoga, but it can be applied to all kind of learning. The sutra says, Dirga kala nairantarya satkara sevito dridha bhumi. I say again, Dirga kala nairantarya satkara sevito dridha bhumi. This is the definition of abhyas, which is practice. And it says very clearly that practice should be conducted dirga kala, for a long time. If you know Hindi, dirga kala. Then nairantarya, continuously. One thing very important when you teach a language, and it's that it's better, you know, to do 1 hour every week than do, say, 3 hours one day, then you stop for 1 week, you do 1 hour after 1 week, or you do 2 days after 1 week, then you stop 3 months. You know, constancy is the secret of learning a language. And learning a language can be, I mean, every student has an aim. Some people want to learn very fast. Some people want to learn more slow. But be constant, nairantarya, be constant, whatever this constancy is. But the most important part of this sutra of Patanjali, Satkara Sevita. I think you can understand, the Hindi speakers can understand that. Do this with Satkar. Do you study with respect. Don't do your study, you know, in an angry way, or just, you know, being very upset or forcing things. You have to find a way of practicing, of being very regular, nairantarya. But when you do that, you do with a spirit of love towards what you are learning. If you just are learning something to make money, you won't learn properly. This satkara sevitaha is a very important thing when you are teaching and when you are learning a language. So please follow this counsel of Maharshi Patanjali, which is a very important thing to understand the nature of abhyas. And the nature of abhyas or practice is everything when you are learning and teaching a language. Thank you very much, Ravi Kumar. I am really happy to be part of this opening session of this seminar. You know that I really admire the work you are doing through all these years. We met, I come back to India now after 7 years of being, as he said, 5 in Brazil, 2 years in Morocco. And I am very happy to be back and directing the Instituto Cervantes here in New Delhi. I would like to conclude saluting because I have seen a very dear person here, which is Soraya Caro from Colombia. Very happy to see her. See that she's continuing, you know, to promote India and Indian studies in Colombia. And Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is what we have to say. We are here from people from all over the world. I am really happy to be a small part of this inaugural session. Namaskar, Namo Namaha.
Oscar ji, I would like to extend my sincere thanks, you know, for the time that you have given. Many times we talk, you know, in Hindi. आपसे हिंदी में बात करने में कुछ ज़्यादा मुझे मजा आता है, because
बहुत मजा आता है.
right.
लेकिन सब तो समझ नहीं लेते.
Right.
ऐसा लगता है.
Right. So
बहुत
and
अच्छा.
जी, और सुराया और जो हमारे लैटिन अमेरिका से बहुत सारे मित्र और भी हैं, I welcome them all, and my friends, you know, if you could have noticed, you know, the advice from our beloved friend Dr. Oscar Pujol, you know, from the Patanjali's slok, and that is Nirantar Abhyas, you know, and with devotion, with conviction, we say. Right. Right. So that conviction, devotion, and I will say commitment and practice, you know, this is part of Gurukul system of our Indian tradition. and which I always respect, and I try and promote it also. And luckily, I have studied in a Gurukul in my childhood. That takes me back to this Vedic system, which about which I'm also working. You will come to know about it very soon. But what I'm trying to say is that as a professional, I have noticed this, that practice, devotion, and
Yes.
continuous practice,
Continue.
and
Megantarya, Satkara,
yes,
Sevita, Grita,
and
Bhuti.
continuous improvement, that we always call in terms of project management, Six Sigma and all, quality management. These are all continuous improvement processes, which we talk in terms of variety of parameters. But the reality is, continuous development is very important, number one, and devotion is very important, number two, and rest all follow. I have seen that. If you recall, in our Indian tradition, Dronacharya was a guru, but how well respected he was. He could control everything, all Kaurav, all Pandavas. Similarly, Chanakya was a guru. He has created empires. So you, as a language teacher, or any teacher, when you are interacting with your students, and when you bring changes in him or her, that satisfaction that we get, I really appreciate. That $1 million is worthless when I see changes taking place in somebody's mind, and somebody persona, we say, somebody's sanskar, that is seen in face. So that kind of change, it comes if you bring, my friend, that is the biggest earning. Money and material, etc., are secondary. That follows. Believe me, if you are a good teacher, money will run after you. Or even if you are a good translator or a trainer or a good person, and just you need to be little smart enough to strike at the right point. That is what we will be learning in our internship program. Oscar ji has given lots of time to us. He has told me that he has some additional meetings, so I would like to again thank him. And if he wants, he can still say goodbye to us. But if he can afford to be with us,
Goodbye. Good now, I have to go, but goodbye to all of you. Really a great pleasure. Muito obrigado aos meus amigos brasileiros. Eu gosto muito do Brasil. And Soraya ji, it was very nice seeing you briefly. I hope you come soon to Delhi. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Obrigado. Daniel.
Gracias.
Hasta luego.
Adiós, señor.
Adiós.
Okay, my friends. So this was our, first part of our session on, take on training, internship, etc. I just wanted to see if our friend Soraya is there. Soraya, are you around? Can you just raise your hand or indicate where you are? I am not able to locate you. Because Soraya has also been a very good admirer of India. And I recall we organized a salsa concert, to promote India-Colombia relations, and I was their media partner. There are some videos also available on our channel. If you get time, please go there. You will be, happy to have some music on salsa and learn the basics, of the steps of salsa too. But with that, I would like to move on to our, take for today. If you have any questions, any doubts on, or opinion you want to share on our friend's Oscar's, take, or whatever he has given, you are free to give me right away. We'll continue this discussion session for 5-10 minutes, and then we will initiate our next part of the day. The floor is open. You can raise your hand, and our coordinator Sharon, who is our lifeline for this internship program, will help you, and we can have a question and answer session if you want. Okay. Anyone? Any questions? Any thoughts? Anything you want to share? talk to Sharon, give your input there. Sharon, are you coordinating with them?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. There are certain comments which I will read. Perhaps they are very important for you to understand, to listen to, because there are lots of interns who are there who have shared their opinions. Somebody is saying, "Thanks, Oscar sir," from Raghuveer. We have João saying, "Obrigado pela expressão, Senor Oscar Pujol." I speak Portuguese, but little bit. I do good translation from Portuguese to English. Rohit says, "This was much great experience, sir. True sense of respect to Oscar sir and Ravi sir." Great, Rohit. Thank you. Shreya says, "Muchas gracias." Joao, again, I agree, Rohit Vats. And then Ramneet is saying, "Thanks a lot to Oscar sir for your encouraging words. Feeling proud to hear Mr. Oscar Pujol, Prem Kumar, our translation management student." Niharika is saying, "Highest gratitude and respect to Oscar sir. Thank you so much, Ravi sir, for giving us opportunity." Great. Deeptensu is saying, "Thank you, Ravi sir, for organizing this webinar, as well as Oscar sir's words are very encouraging." We have Gopalji saying, "Oscarji, he looks to be deeply spiritual person." Yes, he is. "Goodbye, sir. Stay safe." Manish Kumar, thank you, sir. Then Khushi says, "Grateful for this wonderful webinar organized by Ravi sir and Oscar sir. Consistency is the key to learn and master any skill." Very true. Gravita, it was an honor to be able to hear from you, sir. Thank you a lot to Oscar sir and Ravi sir. Okay. Sayed is saying, "Thank you, Oscar sir." Joy is saying, "Nos que agradecemos." Muy bien, amigo. Take care. Thank you, sir. From Saeed. Then Sharon says, "Guys, you put your questions here." So is there any question? Please inform us about the opportunities of interpretation in the future. Krishna is saying, "Certainly we will cover, one session on interpretation." We have our expert, Dr. Preeti Bhatia, who has been a simultaneous interpreter. Although I also do simultaneous interpretation. If you want to see some samples, you can visit Modlingua's YouTube channel. It is a lifeline for you. You will find some samples where I have done interpretation from Hindi to English and also from Spanish to English. And of course, we will have some session on interpretation from Dr. Preeti Bhatia, and I will be coordinating. And then we have, "Thanks for conducting this seminar." Ishan is saying, Deves is saying, "Thanks for the invitation." Muskan is saying, "That's a very nice. Thank you for organizing this webinar." Abhishek, "I have known him for a long time, but I'm amazed to listen the Sanskrit slok from you." That is great, Abhishek. Good to hear from you. Thank you for having such a respectful person who now only enlightened us about teacher. Okay, that is great, Ashok. I see Ashok has been very active in promoting our Telegram forum called Modlingua Learning Language Community Forum. I thank you all. Suhangi is saying, "Completely agree to what Oscar sir said regarding teaching as not just a profession to earn money." Felt so enlightened. Great. Sweta, very inspiring session. Premji is saying, "Knowledge went from India to world and came back to India again." Thank you. Sharon, is this opportunity for everyone to ask clear doubts? Thank you for great session, sir. From Muhammad, Valver is saying, "Hello from Brazil." Thank you, Valver. Hello from India as well. Syed has written something in Russian. It seems he is thanking everybody. Thanks for Ravi Kumar and Oscar. Nice ship from Dr. Ombedi. What are the opportunities in India as a Spanish language expert? Depends who, we will work on it. There are enormous opportunities. Kami nahi hai. Margaret, thank you again. I would like to know if we will have another mentors, and thank you. We will have more than 10-15 mentors, Margaret. We have lots of volunteers who are there to help you out. We have created a very good community of language experts, who are willing to help and teach people, empower people. So I guess you will not be facing problems at all. Okay. So with this, Darshana, thanks that you are here. I was expecting you. I thought you are still in the office. Thanks for making it. Thank you, Emma. There are some interns, from our past who have become your mentors now. There are some certain students, senior students who are PhD scholars who have done some courses also with us, on translation management. They are also with us to help you out. We will introduce them all one by one. I will again request you all. I have shared, the the social media links of various forums where we interact. So please go there, become part of that, be part of that system, enjoy networking, enjoy learning, and share the bonding of being a language expert and being a language professional. Okay. So with this, I would again like to, let me see if there are some more people. Abu is there. I see Emma. Thanks, Emma. Let me highlight Emma's. Uh, Emma has been a very good teacher for Hindi, and she teaches in a global, school at Mumbai. And she has kindly agreed to mentor, our interns. And I would like to thank her as well. And do we have any other people again? Let me see. We have, I am just seeing, there are variety of good numbers of students. Valverde, I am seeing there are some. Soraya was there. There were many more, who were. Darsana, thanks for being with us. Sweta is there. I see Ritika is there, who has been very active as an intern. Mahek is there. Kushi, Arushi, Prerna, Mitali, Sneha. There are some who were not able to get, our WhatsApp messages. So I say, request you to please first save our WhatsApp number in your mobile phone, because if you don't save, you will not receive our broadcast message. There are certain security check applied by WhatsApp. Because of that, we are not able to send you messages if you don't save our numbers. You will find it problem. So I see our variety of people coming in here. So my friends, thank you for joining our internship program. Now I want to take one promise for you all. I am not expecting anything in return from any intern or any students. You will not be working for Modlingua. I'm telling you time and again. If there is any project that comes where we need your human resources as a translator or a language expert, we will pay for it. We will be using your expertise certainly, but if there has to have some business, currently because of this Corona crisis, the whole world is closed. So let's make use of it. And the idea is, if you are working in language profession, I have devoted around 25 years of my time in trying to create a network. I have shown you a picture of ants, networking, doing impossible things. They have the most complex, the network, more complex than Google. Google has not been able to decipher their, networking pattern. Just imagine how strong they are, the smallest one. If they can do good networking, why we humans can't? So suppose if lawyers, doctors, engineers, chartered accountant, company secretaries, and whatnot, all they have created their own professional system, but translators have not been able to do so. Linguists have not been able to do so. So my idea is to, to put efforts and do something for our own self. If I have done something, I try and teach people to do something for the profession, and that is to at least create a network. We already have done efforts, at various platforms. We have Facebook, we have around 12,000 members in a forum, which is for all languages. On a French forum, we are around 10,000 members there. There are network of our language alumni, Modlingua alumni network. There we have around 300, 400 people. We have created language network on LinkedIn. There also we have around 1500 plus people. So if you go there, interact with people, there are some good senior people, they can give you business, or they can introduce you to a professional world. If you do not contribute, your own system and grow it, as a good human resource, in spite of the fact that now we have everything free almost. You only pay for the internet services, no, but you don't pay to Google for internet, for email. You don't pay to Facebook, you don't pay to LinkedIn, none of them. So if you don't pay them and you give time to them, if you give time to them, why not give little time to your own self, your own profession, and slowly build a network. If that happens, my friend, in 6 months, a year time, there will be a big force of language experts who can change the pattern, thinking pattern globally. So that is my idea. So I expect you to be part of that, be active, promote yourself, promote, Modlingua if you want. Otherwise, that is not a compulsion, I'm saying. Modlingua, use it for your own development, not thinking that you are promoting Modlingua. Promote yourself using Modlingua. We will get promoted automatically, right? So now, my friends, I will move on to our next, part of today's session. If you have any questions, any doubts, we can cover it later. Let me have a sip of chai, which has just come to me.